Good morning. It's Kristen Cooper, your mortgage mom certified, mortgage planner certified, divorce lender, and military certified specialist. Today we're going to be talking about property taxes. And as you know, as your mortgage mom, I'm always going to bring tips, strategies, and information to help you become more aware of not just mortgages, but finances and debt as well. So today we're going to be talking about property taxes on a home and how they're assessed and things that you need to know about them. So property taxes in California typically are going to be based off of the purchase price. So what happens is you're going to purchase a home, we pull the tax bill from the county assessor's office, and each parcel has a specific tax percent and then also direct charge assessments to that home. So every property can be different on what the property taxes are. And so we don't really know what those taxes are until we pull the tax assessment when you purchase a property. Now, typically it's under 1.25% of the property unless the property has Mello-Roos, which means that that property has been assessed with additional taxes known as Mello-Roos to the tax assessment. For instance, near us in Lincoln, there's Lincoln Crossing, which has a huge Mello-Roos, which means taxes are almost double what normal taxes would be in that specific area. But typically most places, like I said, it's under 1.25% of the purchase price as an annual tax, which we divide by 12 if it's included into your monthly payment to come to a monthly payment portion. So your property taxes when you purchase a home, we're going to be based off of your purchase price. So let's say your purchase price is $400,000. Let's say the tax bill says it's 1.12%. You multiply 400,000 by 1.12%. Plus, let's say there's $300 of direct charges. Plus $300 equals your annual tax assessment. Divided by 12 would be your monthly tax assessment if it's included in your monthly, or if you're going to be paying your property taxes by yourself. Taxes are due by April and December, which means that they're paid March and November. So, and that's 6 months installments of each that property taxes would be due. So you take your annual divided by 2, and each 6-month installment would be that amount for your taxes. Now, out of state, everybody does their taxes different. So for instance, in Idaho, their property taxes there are going to be a different percent than what they are here. Also in Idaho, they reassess based on market value every single year. Here in California, they don't do a reassessment every year. Typically, when your house is going to be reassessed is if you pull permits to do any type of upgrades or rebuilding or adding to your structure. Then the county typically can come after that and say, okay, now you've done improvements to your home because now they know you've pulled permits and now your house is worth X. Can they come back and reassess your value at any time? Yeah, up or down. So when the market crashed, we would go and, a lot of people were going to the county assessor saying, okay, now my property value is less. So I want you to reassess my value and bring my taxes down. Now, when taxes go up, they could reassess it, but typically they don't. Even if you refinance your mortgage, it doesn't trigger anything with the county assessor's office to go in and reevaluate your property value. One thing to note, though, is change in ownership will also trigger a reassessment. And why this is important is because I'm a certified divorce lender. Let's say that all of a sudden you change ownership because now you removed your ex from the property. Just know that the county will probably send you a bill saying they've reassessed your value. However, in certain areas, such as here, there's exemptions. So if you went through a divorce and you have an actual divorce decree that you could provide, you provide that with the county, they bring your taxes back to where they were because there wasn't a true ownership change. It was due to a divorce. Or if dad sells a property to a kid, their son or one of their children, there's exemptions for that too because it's within family exemptions. So it's really important to understand if your house gets assessed, understanding why it's being assessed, and sometimes there's exemptions for that. Also, if you're a disabled veteran, you can get, if you have 100% disability, you can get a huge exemption off your taxes in most counties. So you'd want to call the county tax assessors on that as well so that you can get the exemptions on that. Now, another thing to note is that in California, we have a homeowner's exemption, which is very small. I think it's $7,000 right now, which means that if the home is a primary residence, you fill out the paperwork when you purchase your home. It says it's your current primary residence, and then they take a small amount off the value of your home. So if your value was $400,000, now they're going to assess it at $393,000 minus the $7,000 exemption. Now, whereas in Idaho, if it's your primary residence, they actually take $100,000 off your value. So they would only be assessing that $400,000 home at $300,000 when they do your county tax assessors. So it's important to understand that each area can be different in their county tax assessment. It's making sure that you're working with a good lender that understands how to calculate that up front when they're working with you and giving you the information. But if you've purchased a home already, you shouldn't see any major changes in your property value with the county, unless, again, like I said, you pull permits or things like that. Then they could address your property value, reassess it, and you could have to pay the higher taxes on that property as well. But if you're refinancing, it's not going to be triggered just from refinancing. And if there's a change in ownership, if it's some type of interfamily or divorce, make sure you give them the documentation so that your taxes come back down and you're not paying the higher assessment on those property taxes. So I hope that answers your questions around property taxes, how they're assessed. I know a lot of times when you're purchasing a home, you can see the county tax assessors, and that's based on the previous owner when they purchased their home, which is typically a lot less than what you're going to pay for taxes. So you need to be prepared to pay the higher tax amount. But if you have any questions, reach out to me. Like I said, this is your mortgage mom, making sure that you have all the information, facts, and tips to make the best decisions moving forward.